My name is Hakim the Phoenix, and I'm going to be breaking down the album cover to my first single that I put out this year, Behind the Mask. The inspiration behind the album cover is obviously the song and the ideas and insight that inspired the lyrics to the song and the content around the song. And the inspiration that gave flesh to that idea was this amazing picture of Joaquin Phoenix that I saw on Pinterest. And the shots from the album cover was taken by my very, very good friend, amazing artist, the Black Esper. And the album cover was edited by Dimitri, amazing artist, videographer, photographer. He directed the video to my second single, Delusions of Grandeur, and we're going to get into that in some videos that I'm going to be putting out later. Um, the album cover initially had these inscriptions on it, and unfortunately, the DSPs removed it. Um, I don't know why, but they have their reasons, I suppose. Um, but the album, the inscription, sorry, on the album cover was from, or is from, the inscription on the Oracle of Delphi, which transcribes as into English as "Know thyself." Now, whether this inscription was originally there in Greece and Athens that time, we do not know. But there is a profound message to that inscription on the Oracle of Delphi, which I thought it was powerful when I learned about it. And it serves as the center of what the song Behind the Mask is all about. Know thyself. And yeah, thought it was profound. And this came from the time where Greece was the advanced, was an advanced Western civilization and gave birth to a lot of great philosophers, mathematicians, sages, spiritual sages, and orators as at that time. And if you look at the album cover, you see 5 images there, two on the left, two on the right, and there's one in the center. The images on the left, both images on the left and on the right, kind of shows or it symbolizes the emotions that comes with identifying with your psychological mask. When I say psychological mask, I'm talking about the conceptual ideas that we've latched our identity to, that the culture we grew up around in, the political system that we grew up around in, the religious system, and your social life growing up as a human being as incorporated to you as you. And and you have incorporated that as well. So it's a mix of different conceptual identities that becomes the psychological system in your being that we call the human ego. And basically, these emotions that are being showed on both two on the left and two on the right, fear, anxiety, depression, jealousy, all this in most cases negative emotions, which on the other pole have the extremes of positivity or perceived positivity, like excitement and the feeling of satisfaction the ego gets from taking actions that are detrimental but at the moment seems very very pleasurable, but on the long run detrimental. And all these emotions come with identifying with these psychological masks and roles that we play. And now, for roles, there is nothing wrong with roles at all. I think roles is the beauty of the human being, to be able to live and express itself as a human being at whatever time they are existing as a certain person. And these roles are infinite. You human beings can play infinite roles. But the moment you start attaching your essential identity to that role that you play, then all these emotions are just lurking around in the corner and they follow you. Or some interesting way to explain it, but they become you. You become the fear, you become the worry, you become the anger. So your social conditioning takes root as your essential identity, which is not supposed to be the case, but it's been the phenomenon of the human race for thousands of years. And as we can see, our history hasn't been a pretty one. So basically, this two images on the left and on the right kind of show those emotions that comes with it, the distortion that is layered and have covered up our essential identity, which is purity, which is formless, which is not bound by any concept or ideas or social conditioning, and which the inscription on the oracle of Delphi, know thyself, was directly pointing to, and which all great teachings, original teachings of different religions in their prayers forms have tried to point to, or I've been pointing to, I'm going to say try, I've been pointing to and trying to let us know. And how these roles that we identify with are limited. Because, for example, I'm an artist. If I completely identify with the role of being an artist, which I have in the past, there is a lot of misery, hidden misery, depression, frustration, uncontrolled passion and desire, a burning desire that comes with it, which eventually will consume you as an artist if you are not aware of it. And this goes to any different roles or any different conceptual identity that you might have of yourself or you think you are. So basically, these two images represent that. The image on the at the center, rather, represents the transcendent identity, the identity that is not bound by concept, images, ideas, words, stories, narrative. You know, the identity that is a ray of the infinite, the one that we call God. There is a beautiful saying from Eckhart Tolle that says, what we call God is the sun, and we are the ray of the sun. The rays of the sun is thyself that the Oracle of Delphi was trying to let us know. That is who we are. That is who we were before the world, before society, before culture, before your social conditioning, before your past told you who you were. And that is what the song is pointing to. The song is just merely a pointer. There is no words or concept that can encapsulate your true identity. So basically, that's the whole inspiration behind the album cover. And yeah, everyone is gonna interpret it in the album cover in different ways, but I hope this gives some clarity to it. And if there's a certain way you might have interpreted this and you're watching this, please let me know. I'll be very, very interested to hear what you think about it. Thank you. Take off your